Hi everyone, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. How are you today? I know I've been getting a lot of people asking me about Joy cards on the Maker and on the Explore machines because they see the Joy cards and they really, really love them. And what's not to love? They're beautiful, right? So I was kind of unrelated. I was checking out the new free images that are available from Cricut, and they made an announcement. I put it on my page, but they made an announcement that they are making available all of these images for free during this time that we're all supposed to be home and sort of sheltering in place or social isolating or whatever the term is. And so, good day, Danielle. Hello. So I started looking at those free images and I wanted to show you because as soon as I started looking at them, I realized that a lot of images there are the same ones as the Joy. And you may not know what to do with them when you see them. So I want to show you how to create a card that will cut correctly in your Maker or in your Explore. Hi, Charlene. Welcome. So let me first show you how to get to all of those wonderful free images, okay? I hope you can see. I'm going to try to get in a little bit closer. I hope you can see. I'm working on my laptop today, and it's the same if you're working on your desktop or your iPad or even your phone. What you're going to do is you're going to start with a blank canvas. I happen to have these here, so what I'm going to do is just kind of shade them out so you can't see them. And I'm going to go over here. I'm like I have a blank canvas. So I'm going to go over here to image, okay? And I'm going to choose image. And I want to go. All right. So this is what, when you choose image, this is what you'll see. You know, a whole bunch of images. And if you happen to be an Access member, you'll see those A's, and that means that it's available to you for free if you're an Access member. But every week, and I'm not sure if people are aware of this, but every week Cricut makes available a bunch of free images, even if you're not an Access member. And they are there's a bunch of them, but usually it's, it's a limited amount. Maybe it's like one cartridge full, and they change them out every week. I think it's on a Thursday. But yesterday they made an announcement. I think it was yesterday. They made an announcement that they're going to open it up to be a lot more images, and they're going to be available instead of just for a week. They're going to be available until the end of March. So I wanted to show you how you get there. You're going to go here to categories. See, there's images, categories, and cartridges. So you're going to go to categories. And you're going over here to this one. It says free this week. And you can click on that. And it will show you, I think there's over 1,000 this week. Usually it's kind of limited, but there's over 1,000. And when you first open it up, you'll see all of these images here. Some of these may look familiar to you, but these are all set up to be cut similarly to the Joy cards. And so they could be cut on the Joy, for sure they could be cut on the Joy, but I have had a lot of people who ask me, look, I don't want to buy a Joy, or I don't have the card mat or whatever. Is there a way I can use the card mat on the Maker? And I've seen some people try that, and to be frank, I think it's kind of a hack. And not in a good way hack. So I would rather that you take the image and make a card that will cut on your machine, your Maker or your Explore machine. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's pick a couple of these images. For instance, I don't know. We could choose the new couple, and they look familiar, right? Because these are ones that I've been showing you. Let's choose Let's do Happy Father's Day too, okay? So we're gonna bring those in, not gonna mess with the size at all, okay? Because they are perfectly sized to be an A2 card. Those are the cards that we've been working with the Joy. Remember, folded, they are 5.5 by 4.25 inches, okay? That's important to remember, A2, okay? Because when you look at one of these images, if you look over here where it says size, it shows the size 4 and then the height is 5.25. So it's 4 inches wide and 5.25 inches tall. Sadie, you're gonna go to images. We just did that. You go to images here and you go to the categories and then free this week. Okay? While I'm there, I'll just pull this one in there too. So here we've got these three, but if you went to cut this right now on a maker, and maybe I can show you how it would look. They're just kind of like these free-form images. They're not cards, and my laptop is attached to my Maker, so this would not work out for Joy. So we're gonna go back, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a card around the image. Okay, so as I said before, this is an A2 sized card. So we want to add a square and then change the size to fit within that A2 size, okay? So we're gonna go over to here, shapes. We're gonna choose a square. Now, we have to change this to be the size of an opened card, right? Closed, it's 4.25 by 5.5, but opened, it's 8.5, right? 8.5 inches across and still 5.5 inches tall. So we need to unlock the size, which is right here, that little lock guy, right? So you're going to unlock it, and you could stretch it like this if you wanted to, but I always go up here to the size, and I choose here exactly what I want, right? So we're doing it as, like I said, 8.5, right? So 8.5, and you see I unlocked it, so it's not like creating like a proportionate size box, okay? And then over on the height, we're going to choose 5.5. Now it's starting to look like a card. The only thing that's missing is scoring. And you can add a score line to your card, to any card. Also going to shapes. Over here again, we're going to shapes, and you'll see down here, the bottom right, it says score line. So you just choose that. Now it's probably hidden. Yep, it's hidden over here. You might have to move some stuff around, and to be honest, I think what we'll do is we'll change this square to white just to make it easier for you to see it, okay? All right, so what I do here, let's move these out of the way. What I do here is I put my square, it's not really square, I put my card size up into the corner so I know exactly where I'm going to put that score line, okay? So, and I can close the lock too so that I don't end up making a mistake. So I want to make the score line halfway, right? And so half of 8.5 is 4.25. So we're going to take our little score line and we're going to go, where did it go? Oop, I deleted it by accident. That's okay. Here it is again. So we're going to take our score line. First, what we're going to do is we're going to stretch it to fit. And I'm just using those little arrows, okay? And now what I'm going to do with my card right up here, in this corner of this square. You see that? And each of these squares represents an inch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then each of the gray lines is a quarter. So we're going to take our score line and go to that 4 1/4 inch space. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. Okay? Y'all with me? All right. And then we're going to attach this to the score line to the card. And then, bam, you have a card that is going to cut out to the size of an A2 card, which will fit into a standard envelope. It's not anything. It doesn't have any design on it yet, but it's there. And so here you've got the step 1 of it, all right? And then we're going to take one of our images over here. Now, the image will show up below the card, and that's not ideal because we can't really see it. So what we want to do is we want to go to Arrange, which is right up here, and we're going to choose Send It to the Front. And then all of a sudden, there's our image in the front, and we can kind of eyeball it from here and go, okay, this is where I want it to be. And you're going to use your best guess and sort of line it up within the square, which I think this is really good right here. And then we're going to select the entire thing, okay? Select the entire thing, and then we're going to attach it all together. And that attach is down here. Attach. It's like a little paper clip. Now, it will change ever so slightly, but there it is. There's your card. Now, one thing I just recognized is that some of that image might have been writing. So we'll have to go back and look at that one. Let's do one that doesn't have any writing, and that's this one. So let's move this guy over. Once again, we're going to pull in a shape, a square. Okay, we're going to unlock it. And we're going to change the size to 8.5 width and 5.5 height. There's our card. Let's change it to white just so we can see better. There's our white. Then we're going to bring in over here again, we're going to bring in the score line. There's our score line. I'm going to stretch it so that it spans the entire card. We're going to move the card up into the corner so we can correctly gauge the size. And we're going to bring our score line 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 right here. Just make it so that let's make sure that it's at 4 1/4. Yep. And then what we're going to do, move this out of the way. Then what we're going to do is select it all, attach it. Then we got our image, which we want to bring to the front. So we use Arrange and Send to the Front. And then we can just kind of eyeball it where we want it to be. We don't want these like little tab things to be too close to the actual card, because then you'll have it rip, okay? So you do want it kind of centered on that card, and then select it all and attach. Okay, now I want to show you how it looks, so I'm going to just kind of get rid of these. When I go to make it, there it is. There's our entire card. This is going to be cut on my Maker. It says up here, this is how you determine which machine you're attached to. So it says it's going to go on the Maker, and the Maker can do scoring. Okay, so these are basically the Joy cards that are available to you for Maker and Explore. Now, I happen to not be in my craft studio, so my Maker's in the other room. I can't cut this. But if we were to continue and cut this, and we would choose I'd probably use a medium cardstock. We'd have to put in either our scoring wheel, if you have a Maker, or if you have a scoring wheel for the Maker, or you can use your scoring stylus. So I want to see if maybe I can show you how to swap out the scoring wheel, because again, I'm attached to a Maker. If it's going to let me, again, my machine's all the way in the front of the house. I'm going to choose my, nope, it's not going to let me do it. It doesn't recognize that the machine's all the way out there, not close enough. So let's pretend that I could choose Maker, and then you'll see that sort of preparation where you have to choose the material. You would choose probably a medium cardstock, and then it would tell you need to, if you have a Maker, it would tell you need to use a scoring wheel, but you can edit the tool to show, instead of a scoring wheel, you can use the scoring stylus, okay? So you do not need to use a scoring wheel with the Maker all the time if you don't like to do it. In fact, when I'm making cards, I just use the stylus and I keep it in the machine on the left-hand side. It's just so much easier. And then if I am doing something that requires a lot of scoring, then I will use the scoring wheel because it works better than the stylus. So anyway, so let's cancel this out and go back to our canvas. All right. So there is one, and we want to probably, here's that other one. I want to look at that. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Now this one here, I think we're going to have to detach it because there's drawing and there's cutting on this, and I am afraid, I just want to make sure. No, actually, I think maybe not. I was afraid that it switched the drawing to cutting, and then that would not be good. But now that I'm looking over here, I see that it still has drawing here. So if we were going to make it, some of these things would cut, some of them would draw. And so in this case, because we have a score line and we're not using the Joy, you would have to first put in and do the scoring first. Then you would swap out the scoring and put the pen in. And then the third step is it would cut. Okay? So that's how this kind of a project where it's drawing with scoring and cutting, you do it in that order. First it's scoring, then it's the writing, and then it's the cutting. Okay, so what I'm going to do when we finish up this video, I will give you a Design Space file for this so that you can kind of pop in and have a look at it, see how I did this. But I hope that this has helped you to understand how you can take those free images, which let's go back and look at those. Again, we go to the free this week, which is under categories. This is categories. We're going to go to free this week, and it's kind of a misnomer because it's going to be free to the end of the month. And it appears to me that these are also going to be access images. So for instance, if you are not an access member, but you want to cut these for free, you have until the end of the month to cut them, okay? Because they're free. But then if you are an access customer, it appears that they're going to stay access images, and so you'll be able to cut them going forward. And look at all of these. There's a 4, 8, 12, 16, okay, so there's 20, there's like 30, well, more than that. There's a good 50 images that you can turn into Joy type cards, but cut them on your Maker or Explore. Okay? So that's it for today. When I finish up the video, I will go ahead and prepare the file and make sure that it gets listed in the description of the video. So come back to pick up that file and let me know how you make out. I want to see if you're able to create these cards from the free images and from the shapes, okay? Thanks so much for coming today. It's Rita. In case you didn't know, it's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue, and we're going to be seeing you again really soon with another great project from Cricut. So make sure that you are following me on Facebook or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great night.